you've always been kind of partially sighted since you remember, then that's all you remember. There's no operations, but it is pretty steady at the minute. But you can't really tell if it's going to deteriorate or not.
Jason's visually impaired. He's got Stargardt's disease. He competes in the T13 category in Paralympics. He's very quiet, he's very reserved, but in saying that, he knows what he wants. Once Jason gets out onto the track, he's a competitor.
I'm very proud to have 2 world records. I just hope that it can continue and just can continue to go well. The dream for 2012 would definitely to be run both Paralympics and Olympics, and I don't see why it can't happen.
Jason Smyth is the fastest Paralympic sprinter of all time. He's the world champion in the 100 and 200 metres, and in the forthcoming years the Irishman's aim is to make the dramatic transition from Paralympian to Olympian. To find out more about him, we travel to Derry in Northern Ireland, where the 20-year-old lives and trains.
Well, I would have always done athletics at school. I would have always been quick, but I would never have really realised how quick I could be or was, and would never did realise till I came down and started training properly with Stephen.
Jason's coach is Stephen Maguire. The pair first met in July 2004 when Jason turned up to the Templemore Sports Complex in Derry.
His father brought him down to meet somebody from the local athletics club, and I was fortunate enough that I was doing a session at the far side of the track with some jumpers, and we were preparing for national championships. And again, luckily enough, he met the right person when he came to the athletics club, who sent him across to me to have a look to see what he was like sprinting. He turned up in a pair of rugby shorts, t-shirt, and he joined in with one of the others. And they came back and said to me, actually, this wee guy's fast. You know, that he can run.
In 2005, under Maguire's tutelage, Jason completed the sprint double at the Irish Schools Championships. It was shortly after that success that Maguire became aware of Jason's impaired vision.
Being really honest, when he first joined my group, I had no idea of his disability at all. But it was always something that struck me when we were doing any of the longer reps in training. He never let anything out. He always followed in behind the others, and even though he was beginning to become as quick as they were, if not quicker, but he always seemed to follow in behind. And then in speaking to his father, actually, his father told me about his visual impairment, and between the two of us, we did a wee bit of research and then realised that Jason could compete in Paralympics.
Jason suffers from Stargardt's disease, a degenerative genetic eye condition which has left the young sprinter with limited peripheral sight. He was diagnosed with it at the age of 9 and has had to make a number of adjustments in his life ever since.
It kind of affects the central vision, and the central vision's for what you use your sight for seeing things further away and focusing on things, and that's what's affected. But trying to describe what it's like, it's very hard to do, and I don't really know what way to describe it for you.
In Paralympic competition, blindness is defined in 3 different categories: no usable vision, low vision, and visually impaired. Jason competes in the last of these categories. However, his decision to race in Paralympic competitions wasn't straightforward.
I think initially he was a wee bit reticent. It was something obviously that interested him, but it was also something that it was a big step for him because he was putting himself out there. He was admitting his, they had a disability. As I say, when he came into our training group, none of us knew that he had a visual impairment. So that was a big step for him, just around for him to become more aware that he was stepping into Paralympic competition, and he would be seen by some people as a disabled athlete, but thankfully by most people in athletics as a very, very good athlete. The disability didn't come into it.
Jason's first major Paralympic competition was the 2005 European Championships, at which he won gold in the 100 and 200 metres, both in world record times. At the Paralympic World Champs a year later, he claimed the sprint double again, also in record times. The 20-year-old has since lowered his world records to 10.61 for the 100 and 21.44 for the 200. His times make him the second-ranked able-bodied sprinter in Ireland.
I think every area has improved a lot. Technically, it's probably a huge improvement from when I first started. Even everything, speed, a lot quicker, speed, endurance, strength, everything's improved and is continuing to improve, so it's all good.
Since leaving school at 18, Jason has committed himself to athletics full-time. He receives financial support from the Irish Sports Council and has the luxury of having Stephen as his full-time personal coach. Maguire had been the Director of Coaching for Athletics Ireland, but he left this post to work with Jason. His salary is paid by an American computer software company, of which Jason's uncle is a director. With a strong team around him, things are looking good ahead of September's Beijing Paralympics.
Goals are obviously two medals, and we'll not duck that question. What colour the medals be? I don't know. It's all as I'll say. If somebody beats Jason, they're a very, very good athlete.
Following Beijing, Maguire's aim is to turn his young charge into a quarter-miler, and he believes that by London 2012, Jason will join a very exclusive club of athletes who have competed in both the Paralympics and Olympics.
From Beijing, we're going to sit down and plan out the next 4 years. He's mainstream athletics. He's already competed in the World Juniors over 100 metres. He's really dipped his toes into 200s. But I think he'll eventually become a 200, 400 metre runner, and 400 metres being in mainstream at hopefully London 2012.
I would say I'm excited, but at the same time, I don't like to think about it because it's a long time away, and there's a lot of training that needs to be done before that, and keeping fit and fully healthy.
Jason Smyth, this remarkable young man's story looks set to run and run.